So this is my first video in terms of sharing some my approach for the health as it relates to the nutrition. So nutrition for each person is different. It is a function of number one, his age. For example, the babies need a different nutrition than a 70-year-old person. The second part of the variable, which is very important to understand, is the environment in which he is living. So, if you put a person 200 years ago, they were actually working very hard physically. Now, if you put a person today, he may be working hard mind wise, but he may not be doing as much physical work as person was doing 200 years ago. And the third part is what kind of food is available to him around him. And these are very important factors in terms of deciding what one should eat so that one can do his daily activities. Uh, so that's number one. The other part of the nutrition is with regard to the modern day is that people have started eating a lot of processed food, and that is creating a lot of new problems that we never understood, simply because the in the olden times we used to eat much more raw foods because the processed food industry didn't exist. Today, if you go to the American grocery store, 90% of the foods that they sell are all processed. The question is it good for you or not? And I would like to share many videos with regard to many of the foods being sold in the Indian American grocery stores, and basically create a question for many of you to see is it good for you or not, and that answer I would like you to develop yourself based on some of the guidance I would provide, what I think is very important to decide it with regard to what food to eat. So today we are going to do the first product, which is going to be the Cheerios. This is the Cheerios, multigrain Cheerios. Now, multigrain Cheerios is a staple food for many Americans. They wake up in the morning and this is what they eat. Now, if you analyze Cheerios nutrition, if you eat 1 cup of Cheerio, it gives you 2 gram of protein and it gives you 24 gram of carbohydrate. Okay. Now, what does a person need in a day to stay fit? Of course, you burn calorie as you do your daily activities. When you burn calorie, you're basically burning your carbohydrates is needed to support your physical activities. So in the morning, if you eat a lot of carbohydrate, it's a good idea, nothing wrong with it. The second part is the protein. The protein is needed to rebuild your muscles. Protein is needed to build your hormones, the enzymes, the one that makes or enables to your body to burn the carbohydrate. So you need vitamins and you need proteins, which are the enablers. They are like the engines of the car. The engine is the one which will take the fuel and burn it and the car goes. In the same way, the engine of the human body is the protein and vitamins. But the carbohydrate we eat is a fuel. So of course you need a carbohydrate every day. Now the question is what kind of carbohydrate one should eat. Now Cheerios, as you can see, it is a processed food. And what are the ingredients in the Cheerios? That's also very important to know. So Cheerios has whole grain oats, whole grain corn, sugar, corn, starch, corn bran, whole grain rice, whole grain sorghum, whole grain millet, and it has tripotassium phosphate. It has sugar syrup. It is color enhancer. They add the color to keep the color to make sure your cereal looks good. They add vitamins and they add uh, other vitamins and minerals. The question that I have is why should one eat? All you are getting basically a grain. Why would you eat a processed grain for your breakfast? What is the better alternative? because all you are getting is carbohydrate, then I think you can do a much better job than eating this processed grain which was cooked in some industry maybe 6 months ago, maybe 12 months ago. And when you process and make these Cheerios, the grain go through a lot of chemical processing, as well as who knows what happens to the nutrition in it. Is the starch in the original wheat grain or oat grain is the same as it is in Cheerios? We don't know. I don't think there is enough research out there to really say that you are eating the same starch, because starch do change its property when you hydrolyze it, when you heat it, when you put it in the water or any other media. So my advice to you is, instead of eating carbohydrate in the Cheerios form, you can find a better carbohydrate in the raw form. So what are the raw carbohydrate you can eat to get the same amount of calories? And the answer is very simple. God has designed a great carbohydrate called banana. Instead of eating a 1 cup of Cheerios, eat one banana and you will get a great nutrition for daily need. And that would be my suggestion. So of course you can try apple or any other fruit that you like, because you get the carbohydrates, you get the fiber, and you also get some vitamins with it. So this is the first video why one should not eat Cheerios, but instead eat some banana or apple or any other fruit that you may like. Thank you.